All right. Nope, not yet. All right. So there we go. Checking for updates. Updates are welcome. That took a while. Oh, let's see. How far is it from? Come on. Well, my download speed stinks right now. Hey Andy, how are you? I'm going to take a look at the G36 and we're going to see if we're going to fly this thing. But this is, I went ahead and, like I said, I've got a soft spot for various airports. And I guess that's the one I wanted. This is, by the way, I'm streaming 2K and I'm showing, but internally I'm doing 4K. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I have to say those textures look really good. I don't know if you can see that. Question is, am I going to be able to stream at 4K? We will see. But here, let's do this. Let's go here and go up a little bit and forward. I might have to make some adjustments here because I did learn some things about 4K. Looks like morning, right? It looks like a morning kind of fog. But that's the terminal. That looks really good. I did a little flight this afternoon, just testing some settings. I have to say that just visually it looks brilliant. So as long as you don't move, it looks stunning, and if you move, then it's kind of jerky. But I'm still tuning. There's a TBM. And it could be, well, it could have something to do with this fog. But boy, that's the best I've ever seen Santa Barbara. You know. Wow. Gorgeous. Oh, wait, what is my weather set to? Is it live? Yeah, it's live. So, yep. And I'm sitting here, I've got 23 frames. Let's go in the cockpit and see what we get in there. And in the cockpit, I've got 24 thereabouts. So I've never flown this plane, ever. So there's that. That works. And this is the air conditioning control. All right. I probably have to set up some displays here. Let's see. And let me do this real quick. I'll set this as my view 1 because I don't know. Let's see, it's shift 2. And let's go this way. big fat wing out blocking our view. Shift 4 and look back this way, and that's, let's shift, oops, wrong one, 2, and alright, got that. And then just one more. Alright, so there's that. And I could probably set some more custom views. But if you notice, let's see. Okay, I'll just shut that off. What do we got here? Oh, you got to switch tanks in this one. Alright, so we're on the left tank. That works. And let's see, there's an auxiliary fuel pump. Here's the lights, here's the AC. What's down there? Pitot heat. This is beacon nav. And we'll leave the strobe off for now. And enunciator test. In-op, of course. I mean, in some ways, these planes remind me of Coronado planes. Alright, so it does have a fuel pump. So I'll set the mixture to low. Set it to high. See, is there fuel flow? You'd think there would be. Alright. That wasn't too difficult. So, it's hard to see that, but I'm getting 22 frames. Now, I wonder... Well, let me show you this before we do that. See the G1000 now? See how clear that is? This is what you got to do, I guess, to get a clear G1000. You got to run 4K. Unless, you know, somebody's got a dedicated 2K display. They might be able to pull it off, but I've got 4K displays. Of course, on the other hand, now that I think about it, let's go here. Let's drop down to 2K. Let's see, that's this one, right? Yeah, I think it's that one. Okay, let's keep changes. Apply and save. Let's go back. And let's resume. See what the display looks like now. Well, you know, it's not awful. It's certainly not as clear as 4K, not even, you know. But it's better than it is flying with a 2K monitor. Because when I was flying with the 2K monitor, um, the G1000 was pretty ratty. Looked pretty bad. And what's our... Now I'm at 40 frames. So I might just fly with that. How's it look on your end, Andy? You know, I'll taxi out and see what it looks like while I'm taxiing. Let's see. What is the wind in this thing? Let's see. So I guess I go back to the ATIS. So it's calm. Okay. So I'm just going to taxi out. And let's see. Park and brake on? Let's see. I need a panel, taxi light, and landing gear. I don't know what speeds to use for this airplane. That's okay. Wait, that's cowl flaps. Okay, that's important. And let's go back. See if we find a park and brake anywhere. Oh, there it is. Alright, so it's released. We'll taxi out and see what it looks like. Nice sounds, I'll say that. Alerts. Low volts, pitot. Oh. Alright, I think I'll take off 2.5. Yep, I never turned my alternators on. I apologize. Avionics master. Yeah, we'll see what it looks like when we get up in the sky. You know, I'm not complaining so far. It's, you know, at 4K, it's friggin' unbelievable, but it's very possible that my machine's just not up to that. And I really got to apply some brakes to get this thing to turn right. Alright, yep. Check gear. Okay. Yeah, it's like it's low res, but it's not a bad low res so far. And there may be other things I can do to get it back up to 4K. There's some, I was watching a couple of videos on people that, you know, are learning how to optimize this thing. And I've done some of those things. I got it at least to some point. Okay. See, that's me applying the brake just to get it to turn like that. So let's go. Let's see, I guess I should put in a fix, huh? Let's go direct. Oops. Okay. All right. All right, so that's where we're going. And we will set altitude. I'm going to set 5,000. Well, I'm going west, 6,000. And our heading is going to be 250. So yeah, solid 40 frames. I was getting a solid 40 or a solid 30 in Florida. Actually, you know, before we go, let's see what this looks like at night. Uh, let's see, so press 5. This is the drone, isn't it? I'm pressing 5 isn't working. My keys aren't working. Alright, let's go external. Oh. I don't know what it's doing. Weird. So I can't really move. Okay, so we got to do it this way. That's nice looking. Ugh. Oh, look at the moon. Come on. I'd like to see the terminal back there, which would be over here. Drone follow mode, drone lock mode. I don't know what any of this means. It's just the drone stopped working for some reason. Alright, well, it is what it is. Hey, Mr. Docris. Camera. Don't know what's wrong with my drone. Alright, so cowl flaps open. Alright, lights, icing, flaps. We'll do flaps 5 or transponder. Parking brake is off. thing have a toga? It does. It doesn't work. God. I want to back that up a little bit. Let's see, so. Let's do that. Shift. No. Something weird is going on here. Oh. Zoom doesn't work. It's like there's a... We'll do that. Oh, you hate my... Yeah, I'm gonna... Let's go up. Let's go up. I want to see what this does. I want to hear your reasons for hating Microsoft Flight Simulator. Okay, well, I know I don't need to go stay down here till 80, but... Alright, gear up. I was actually looking... It's real sluggish right now. Let's see, so let's do flaps up. So the trick with 4K is to set your monitor to 4K and no. Did it lose my bearing? Or is it just another friggin' bug? It's another bug. And it's another bug. Dear Lord. How many bugs does this thing have? Well, at least I can get the flight director on. And all right, there we go. It's okay. I will have to do some more experimenting. I'm getting 50 frames right now, just about 50. So I will have to do some more experimenting with 4K displays, see if I can tune some things down without having to sacrifice. And the reason I went ahead and bought Santa Barbara is because this is another beautiful place in the country and a great place to do VFR flying. So yeah, that's what I did. And besides, Paso Robles, right? So I'm really having to strain to get this thing up. I think we're okay. So flight director's on. There it is. Dear Lord. And what do we have here? We have a Flitch. So I'll turn Flitch on. Let's turn the autopilot on. Yeah, I think everybody's kind of frustrated with Decress. Why don't you like FS2020? I'm curious. An honest opinion here. I mean, visually, that's pretty amazing. Did it blow through its course? Oh, I never put nav on. Damn it. Nav. Where's nav? Right there. See, they need those big tooltips because you can't see the damn thing. It's easier to read in 4K. Hi, Lucas. Hey. Hi, Russell. Yeah, this is I'm getting I've got a 2070 Super, and with this I'm getting right now 46 frames. This is running 2K. So we got 5,000 feet to go. Paso Robles is 74 ahead. 5,000 times 3 is 15 miles out. So at 20 miles out, we want to begin our descent. Yeah, I'm trying to make some adjustments where I can fly it 4K locally, which I have to tell you looks flippin' amazing. But can I tune down things that don't matter to do that? That's the trick, isn't it? Isn't that always the trick? So I've been, I'm just always on the verge. And I did a flight in X-Plane too after I made some adjustments to my sim. I downloaded the latest driver, stuff like that, and changed or set some performance modes, and I could not quite in X-Plane pull off 4K plus maximum slider on the one slider I care about. Oh, let's show you. Camera. The Bonanza. I've never flown a Bonanza. But this is good looking outside. The scenery. Oh, sorry, I keep clicking the wrong thing. Let's look this way and that. There's an airport down here somewhere. I don't know where it is. Yeah, the limiting factor on this, by the way, is my my graphics card, the GPU itself, not video memory. But the displays look better when you set the monitor to 4K and then run 2K. I can almost read these, and they almost look really good. They're not as good as X-Plane. Yeah, this is that's the Bonanza. Never flown it before. Let's take it off autopilot a second. Just feel it out. It's real sloppy in the controls. Like it's taken me a lot of aileron and rudder. So I may have to do some adjustment to it. Or aileron anyway. Yeah. Yeah, an Xbox controller. I've got so much junk connected to this machine already. I dread putting one more on. I didn't check the weather at Paso Robles. We may have to do the godlike thing and change the weather, since we've got some ground fog in the area. But yeah, this is real sloppy. Oh my god. That's full deflection of the aileron. And my flaps are up. And there's no yaw damper. Surprised it's that sloppy, to be honest. Really surprised. Why is the autopilot not coming back on? There we go. Flight director back on. Oh, for tuning your graphics settings? Really? Why? I don't understand why a Xbox controller would help. Tune graphic settings. That looks really good. 50 frames. So no complaints about the frame rate whatsoever. Hey Haftel, how are you? So yeah, I definitely like Orbx Santa Barbara. Thing of beauty right there. I also, by the way, I replaced my monitor. Remember, it kept freezing all the time. I've got a Samsung now, smaller one, slightly smaller. Well, a fair amount more than slightly smaller, but it's good. Yeah, a lot of bugs in this one too. I mean, they're going to need a team on every airplane to get this thing fixed. GOP Slayer, hi. I don't think there's been any updates. I haven't gotten any yet. Yeah, just wanted to do this flight from, just wanted to look at this area. I just really, I was thinking, where would I fly where I could really see the beauty? Where GA flying is really good. And obviously Seattle, Maine, um, and uh, and then here, and so I decided to get Santa Barbara because I'm a sucker for that one. I wouldn't be surprised to see Key West come out soon. Yep, 50. I had 40 on the ground, so you know this is really good settings right here. Oh, on a laptop, oof, that would be hard. I've got a really nice laptop upstairs, and I doubt it could really handle it. Um, might be worth a try. N- no, I turned some things down, and I'm going to leave them down because, for one thing, I can't tell the difference with the settings that I have turned down. I'll show. In fact, real quick, I'll show you guys. Um, so I've got VSync on. I've heard this actually hurts performance, so let's apply that, and let's go back real quick and resume. I don't see it. I mean, it's still 50. Somebody said that it hurts performance. I don't see it. All right, so I've got a custom setting. TAAA still on. Terrain vector data. I've moved a lot of these to high, and some of these I'm thinking about moving lower. Um, this 100 is a high setting, and I don't see much harm in it so far. This is high would be 100 here, and ultra would be 200. I've got it set to 150. Might bump it up just a little. Clouds, I'm still running ultra, which I should probably back down to high. I was actually looking at some pictures over at the FS2020 forum, and some of these being ultra don't make any sense, and this one is probably one of them. And then, it's pretty rare that you need high on a lot of these things. I shut lens flare off because I just don't care. My eyes are not cameras. Um, and reflections I've got on high. I think that's a good setting. Ambient occlusion, wind effects. Or windshield effects. Might leave that at ultra because the rain effects are pretty impressive. Yeah, so a lot of these I think you can cut down, and you really just wouldn't notice a difference. I mean, texture super sampling. This guy was recommending running 4x4, but there was a reason he was saying 4x4, and then he said you could even run 2x2. And I mean, if I go back, let me change something. There was one that was ultra that I was surprised. I'm going to set that to high. and I'll leave the rest. Apply and save. And let's go back and resume. Some of these, I'll look more carefully when I get back to Florida, um, you know, at the clouds. For example, setting that to high. Can you really see the difference? And from what I saw in the pictures, you couldn't. But we will see, because if I can tell the difference, because right now this looks like a gray blur to me. Video I shared had his clouds turned down to high. Okay. Yeah, from what I saw, you could even justify perhaps going down to medium. And now I've got 53 frames. So that's, 6% right there. So if I can get the settings low enough, I can get this thing up to 4K, because these displays, if you set your monitor resolution to 4K and you run 4K, these displays look way, way better. And right now they look quite a bit. I mean, I found that out today. I was shocked. They look really pretty reasonable. It's a big ask though to me to have somebody require somebody to run 4K. I'd be curious if any of you guys are running 2K and these displays look good. To me, they're kind of grainy. It's okay, but it's kind of grainy. Like this RPM right here, I can see that it says RPM, but that's because I know it's RPM. Kind of iffy. And yeah, and by the way, I'm running this airplane a little bit hard. How far are we? Well, we still got a ways to go. It's a nice airplane. I mean, the airplane, not the bugs. There's quite a few bugs in it. I was asking myself, if I was Microsoft, how would I approach these bugs in all these airplanes? How would you do it? Some of them are specific to the airplane. Yep. So here we go again. The autopilot has gone bananas on us. Yeah, they got to fix the G1000. They've got so many airplanes that have a G1000 that I just don't see how they can have a G1000 that buggy and keep it around. It's my graphics card is a GTX 2070 Super with 8 gig of RAM. It's, in terms of horsepower, it's more powerful than a 1080, but the video RAM of a 1080 gives it, to me, it gives it the edge. Makes it a better card. I was just saying to my son here a little bit ago that I think, what if I put this thing on heading mode, what it would do? Would handle it, autopilot, 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 there we go. Wonder if it's nav modes that's messed up or just the whole autopilot. Took it a while to sort out the heading thing there. Oh, you've got a 1080 Ti 11 gig. Those are nice. But someone was posting that the 3000 series are out now, or they've been announced. here, real quick. Let's bring up my, let's see what my graphics card is busy doing right now. There's my graphics card. Nope, that's Intel. Here we go. See, my GPU is being hammered, 99%. It's not a memory issue. It's a GPU issue here. So I'll be right back. All right, we've drifted a little bit here. That's good. 53 frames. I'd be curious. I mean, I will be curious over the coming weeks, what my settings settle down to in this sim. But, to get my TBM fix, I'm definitely going to be flying some X-Plane. But, that looks good out there. I don't, they don't have Santa Barbara for X-Plane. I'd buy it for both. Still no Paso Robles. I mean, it's not the weirdest thing. They've got, now what are we doing? Okay. God, their autopilot sucks. It's terrible. If you shut it off, to turn it back on, you press the yoke button to shut it off. Right here. To turn it back on, you got to press it again and then press the AP button. So, like this doesn't do it. But if I press the yoke button again and then press it, then it goes back on. So many bugs. Do you rush software out much? Look at that down there. Hey, Bill. That's exactly right, Bill. 2020 for VFR, X-plane for IFR. That's hands down. Hands down. And, you know, I mean, when I moved, just make some small adjustment here. Um, you know, if it wasn't for, yeah, yeah, I'll just say that it is. That's the way to go. I mean, that's maybe the official thing for FS 2020, but only if you're flying VFR. Well, I'll be curious what you get. Uh, GOP Slayer. Is that GOP Slayer or is that GOP Slayer? I'm going to call you Slayer. Sounds better than GOP. Yeah, I was checking VetSim earlier. Let's see if they're on. Well, Miami is. If I recall, last time I landed the TBM, it was in this sim, and it was a bad landing. And I landed at Key West, so we could depart from Key West and go up to Fort Lauderdale or something. I wish Jacksonville Center would come on more. They've been better, but still, I wish. Atlanta's not even on tonight. X-Plane needs the streaming graphics. Do you mean for, like getting it from Google, like Microsoft gets it from Bing? Is that what you mean? Where you can just stream the graphics down from some server someplace? That would be nice. But I think they need to fix their lighting and their weather. And I would pay more for it too if they did. Because this one, well, I mean, if you think about X-Plane, it's about comparable to the base version of this. I don't remember. I think Paso Robles is about 500 feet, so I need to descend about 5,000 feet, roughly. I don't know. Yeah, and FS 2020 just about you have to be prepared to take the airplane because the autopilots are all crap. In fact, when I got my VFR license, they never even taught me how to use an autopilot, if you can believe that. I went up and had to figure it out on my own. Where are we? 17 miles out, so let's descend. We'll go down to 2,000 feet. Actually, we should go down to 1,500 feet. And VS and at this speed, 1,000 feet. That should do us. And so the airport will be over here someplace. And I hope we can see it for a VFR landing. If not, I mean, the approaches here at Paso Robles are a little weird. If you go look at the approaches, there's an arc approach. I've been thinking about doing a tutorial on how to fly an arc approach. Not going to do it today. But they're so rare, you know, I mean, you know, and you don't have to fly the arc. But it's fun to fly the arc. I mean, if you didn't have a G1000, on the G1000 you can just see it and fly the picture, which is, you're not supposed to do that, but that's what you can do. But there's a specific way of setting the nav aid in here and then following the needle. And I left my cowl flaps open the entire flight. Don't need them right now. It says 11 miles. You gain 10 FPS and it still looks great. Okay. Are you flying 2K, 4K, 1K? What are you flying? Slayer? Oh, look at that. You could just imagine. You know, I'm going to stop my descent right here. Alt. Oh, look at that. It worked. "4K. Okay. What kind of frame rate are you getting with the 1080 Ti? Beautiful down there. This is just gorgeous. "48. Whoa. Maybe, you know, I looked at a benchmark that told me that the 2070 was on par with the 1080. Maybe it was just BS. You know, maybe in actuality it's just a much better card. Like I'm getting 52 right here. Let's see, how far are we from the airport? 6 miles. Here, we'll fly past it. Let me do this. Let me switch to 4K. Let's see what we get. Just getting 52. And, oh, yeah, I can do this. Where is it? It's in a weird, okay. And we'll keep the changes and apply and save. Go back and resume. And now I'm getting 29. which is completely acceptable to me. But it's not 48. But I don't know if you can tell, but these displays are sharp now. Very sharp. Okay, so there's the airport. I can see it. So how do I want to do this? We'll go this way. Let's see, I'm in my flaps range, so I can dump a notch of flaps. And I guess I can get my gear down. Okay, gear says it's down. A sharp NTA, not SLI, about 40 to 48, average 48. Yeah, this is 4K right now. So I can't see the airport because this stupid thing is in the way. There it is. I gotta make sure that's a runway over there. I believe it is. What do you think? 80 knots on final? Lucas, you got anything for me? Who knows how to fly this plane? Really sloppy on the ailerons. Amazingly sloppy. I'm gonna guess 85. Even though that seems really fast. Surprised the nose isn't lower than this. Let's see if I'm going to try to do this. These ailerons are so sloppy. I mean, I'm moving them and nothing's happening. Really, kinda. I'm going to get in a little. Really, kinda. Could have been worse. Now, what's that taxiway over there? Is that a taxiway? No, it's closed. So what's my frame rate here? 26, 25, 26. Not awful. I can see some, maybe this is what people call micro stutters. So yeah, I've got some more tuning to do. Maybe I can get it to the point and I can run it at 4K. Maybe. My son told me there's a GTX 5000 out. Alright, we'll go that way. Massive stutter. Are you seeing massive stutters now, guys? Control looks laggy. Okay. Let me go back to 2K. It may be that it's just taxing my system so hard it's not streaming well enough. This one, I think. It wasn't that bad for me, but that's definitely smoother. Okay, yeah. Let's see, which way do I go here? I go that way. Yeah, this is just smooth. 50 frames. Yeah, and you don't know how to fly a DME arc? It's a little tricky, but once you get it, it's actually fun. In this airplane, you would use this, and this acts like an RMI. And in a plane that has steam gauges, you really need an RMI, which is it's a device that has a rotating compass like this, and a needle that points to the nav aid. And the idea is you keep the needle at a right angle to your airplane all the time. And there's a rule if you're if the needle is pointing in front of you, then you're too close to the nav aid. If it's pointing behind you, then you're too far from the nav aid. And you can just use that needle to keep your distance. It's not that hard. It's really cool to see how it works. So this is Paso Robles. Doesn't look quite right. Certainly that terminal. I think the terminal's right there. Not awful. Much prettier than this. This is a fun airplane to fly. Buggy like it is, it's fun. Yeah, this is going to be tricky because when I want to fly X-plane, I've got to switch my resolution to 2K. I really don't need 4K. Yeah. And Paso Robles has never had this. Speaking of traffic, I should download the latest global traffic. Wow, this looks good though. For they just say generic airport, it looks really good. Everything's in the right spot anyway, it looks like. So unless they've really grown this airport, these are over here should be GA hangars. Those over there should be GA hangars, and they look like they are. There's a museum over here, and this terminal over here actually looks really, really beautiful. If you can look up pictures of Paso Robles, you'll see it. So parking brake. And let's see. I'm sure there's some rule about cooling I've got to do, but this works too. I'm sure there's a rule about shutting off the avionics before you turn off the engine. So let's look here. See if the camera works now. Oh, it does. That's not bad. Well, the up and down worked. That works. Oh, I'm locked. That's not bad. That's about right. There's a big building right there. That's where the rotating beacon is right there. If there was any airport that I would be tempted to do, it would be this one. This is a boys' detention center, I think. Oh, I don't know. You know, Slayer, it comes back when you go here. So when you're in drone mode, it's not there. But yeah, that looks about right. And looks like VATSIM is shut down. I'm tempted to, well, what I may do is just call it, and then tomorrow night I'll do another flight. That way I can get some things done tonight that I won't have to do tomorrow. And now, I'm streaming in 2K. Okay, how do I stop the stutters in the stream, Lucas? This is the man with the answers. He's the Brazilian Einstein. He knows things. Change the encoder of OBS to X264. I thought I did that. Hold on. That may be... it's possible. I had it on X264 at one point, but let me check. Output... Okay, so... X264 is... I am running X264. I can't change it while the stream is running, but yeah, I'm running software X264. I could run it hardware, and then it uses my, I don't know if it uses my graphics card. My bit rate is 7,000. I'm not sure if that's high enough for 2K or not. And well, I'm using a custom buffer too. Night, Russell. Yeah, you guys should be seeing pretty much exactly what I'm seeing. So if you've got a, 2K display, Try changing to NVENC. What does that do? What is NVENC? NVENC. What is that? Is that NVIDIA encoding? And does that use the graphics card? Because I don't know if that would hurt. But first, take a look at what your settings to remember after you change to NVENC. Yeah, so scale output, enforce streaming encoder setting, buffer size is 0, CPU usage, preset is very fast. And then there's an X264 options, which I don't know what those options you can use. In the NVIDIA encoder. You can try the next stream with NVIDIA encoder and see which one is better. Yep, I could do that. I could do that. But yeah, sitting right here looking out at this airport, I'm getting 55. And inside the cockpit, I'm getting 40, I'm getting 50. Yeah, so we could try that. We could definitely try that. And then in here, I think leaving a lot of these as high is a good idea. And then just having select ultras is the smart thing to do. The ones that, if I remember correctly, the ones, what did he say? Watch this video. And he said, I think render scaling was a big one that hurt. He said, never touch this. Texture super sampling. He said this one's the one that hurts. See, and he said you can run it 2x2 or 4x4, and he had a reason for running 4x4 on his. I don't remember what it was, but he explained it. And water waves, like I said, there's a thread on the FS2020 forum where they show visual examples of some of these things, and they explain what to do if you're CPU bound or you're GPU bound. So they're going down, and they've gone down. I could probably cut that back to high to try windshield effects. You know, I may end up, what I may end up doing is, I'm going to leave ambient occlusion where it is. What I may end up doing is having everything high except really running objects level of detail further out. And I think he also said to leave this at 16. You remove super sampling altogether, really? Well, here, let's do this first. Let's apply this. Let's go back, resume. And now I'm getting 50. All right, and now let's go back. It's cool that you can set all this stuff inside the sim. And let's see, what did you say? The texture super sampling. Save. Resume. And that gives me 1 frame. Really 1. I don't know what it does, to be honest. I mean, in X-Plane, you know, running reflections, I never saw any benefit to running reflections in X-Plane. I tried it just to see what it did. All it did was hurt my frames. So sometimes these things have a frame cost, but you know, they don't do anything that you can really tell. The shadow maps will make your shadow less jaggy. Yeah. general shadow. Let's see, so texture resolution. Texture resolution, I'm leaving it ultra. I assume this means ground textures. VSync. Okay, so I'm going to put that back on 2 by 2. And let's try, what was it? Something down here. Shadow map 768. Oh, I guess I had it at the lowest. And then terrain shadows. That can go way down. I don't know that we'll see. You know, I mean, this may be something that you'd see a lot around sunset. You might see some differences, but I don't know that that matters that much. See, let's try that. Go back, resume. Whoa, 56? All right, let's go here. That surprises me. Okay, so you can see those shadows right there. And let's go back here. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's go to general. Shadow maps. Wait, I thought oh, terrain shadows. So let's go up to, well, let's go to 512. Apply and save. Go back, resume. Well, do you guys see any difference? That's a building shadow though, isn't it? But my frame rate's 56 again. Okay, so wait, that didn't really do very much. So I forgot I was getting 56 before. Contact shadows, I set that to high. Ambient occlusion. I don't know what that does. Should I try high? Let's try. Ambient occlusion. Well, that gives me 2 frames right there. But I think I can see that. Let's go back. Ambient occlusion. Leave that at ultra, huh? Okay. Yeah, it's like 2 frames is all that's good for. And then back in here. And VSync is off, render scaling, terrain vector data, texture resolution. So I'm going to try that at high, but I'm not convinced that that's a smart thing to do. Well, it doesn't really do anything. 55, 56. Lens correction, depth of field. This is one that he said was a pretty big cost. What did I just change to? I just changed one. Wasn't that ambient? No, it wasn't that. I was going to put it back. I don't know. I don't remember what it was. Yeah, let's do this depth of field. That didn't do anything. 55, 54, 55. It might be different inside the cockpit. In the cockpit, I'm still at 50 after all that. So depth of field didn't really do anything. Oh, and I don't want to go too much lower on the reflections because I like the really nice looking reflections. But, you know, let's just do this for a second. Apply and save. Because if it costs me 4K, well, that gives me frame. Not really much help there. That was reflections. Let's go back up to ultra or high. Ambient occlusion, we're going to leave that. Contact shadows. Don't know what contact shadows are. Do you guys know what contact shadows are? Afraid I'm going to muck with something and maybe a frame. Maybe. Yeah, I think there's some of these others that can go down further. Possibly trees. You know, there is which one did I just change? Contact shadows. Put it back up to high. And you know, there are points where these things start to lose their definition, and you just won't be happy. Let's go showcase. Let's see what we got there. That gives us nothing extra. 50. You can see it now. It's 50. Hold on. Why did I do that? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think, you know, I'll look at some of these others. I probably, you know, just sitting here, I think we started out, I was around 50 and now I'm up to 56, 57, which is not too bad. So, but I'm not sure about the trees one. I really like the trees in this sim. But that what that does is it reduces the resolution. Here, let's zoom in on some of these suckers and tip down and go forward. See if we can see any difference in these trees. If you can't tell, then it's pointless. Trees, medium, high, apply and save, go back, resume. I think I can tell. They do look sharper, though I don't think it necessarily matters. God, they look pretty though, don't they? When I was working on this airport, I hand placed all of these trees, and I mean, I loved flying into that airport because of the trees, the way they looked. You know, I really enjoyed flying in and out of this airport all the time. 50 is better than most, but yeah, yeah, and I'll try that end bank and see if that helps the stream. Um, and try some different things. But I don't think, and then I've got to also toy with X-Plane again to see if I can get it to give me some decent frames running 4K, and if not, I'll just run 2K. It doesn't do nearly as much harm as this one running at this one I've got to be on this. The monitor has to be on 4K to look good. The display inside has 2K, has to be 2K. Hello, El Galapanos. Hi there. Is that Greek? So yeah, I think that'll be it for tonight. Tomorrow, though, I'll try to do an X-plane flight. I think I'll do. Maybe I'll pick up where we left off at Key West and head north to some place. Do an IFR flight, and maybe VATSIM will be online. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Maybe, you don't know. It's a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun when VATSIM's online. Yeah, if I could recall my Blender skills, I'd be tempted to try this airport again. That's the wrong building. That's the wrong building. This is actually a hangar with a sloped roof, if I recall, and a balcony out front. But it's not bad. That's the way the road goes. Not complaining. Spanish, really? Good night, Lucas. Have a good night. We'll do it again tomorrow. All right, so main menu. Yeah, so that's it for tonight. El Galapanos, I'm sorry you just got here right at the very end of the stream. I'll try to do another one tomorrow around 7:30 or so Eastern time in the U.S. It must be what? For 1 o'clock in the morning there, if you're in Spain. Good night, Lucas. We still got to do that flight. We could do one tomorrow. Good night, Charpentier.